Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Today is February 18, 2021. My name is Isis Golden. I come to you with video number 8 called Why is School and Why is Personal Development Important as a part of our team's YouTube challenge. So I'll start with the personal development one. That personal development is important because it gives you the chance, I think, to be self-aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. It gives you a chance to assess certain areas in your life where you may need some improvement in how to better yourself as a human being. So it could mean your personal, your physical, your mental, your emotional health, your medical health, your spiritual health, your social life, your professional life. All these things are encompassed within the area of personal development. So you may be looking at ways to improve your medical health, your psychological health, how you process things emotionally when things get challenging in your life. Are you somebody who starts going ballistic, or are you someone who takes things in stride and tries to find alternative methods to whatever you're facing at that point? For example, socially, professionally, let's say it's a job situation, your personal development can involve, how do you improve your performance in the job? Do you go to your supervisor with questions? Is this a good supervisor that you can trust to help you professionally grow in that job role? Are you afraid to ask questions, or do you just assume that you know what you're doing, or do you just do anything without any regard to how that might impact the rest of the staff? For example, when you make mistakes and your supervisor talks to you about it, do you take that criticism well, or do you just assume that this is not the job for you, or are you just ready to give up, or do you totally disagree with your supervisor and not willing to learn? Those are just examples. Maybe part of your personal development could be going to church or attending a spiritual health help group or something to that effect. So those are some reasons why personal development could be very important, is actually very important, because it gives you the opportunity to reevaluate ways in which you can improve your existence in this world and become a better human being and learn how to train and teach others and mentor and influence others in positive ways. Second part of the this question is, why is school important? Now, I'm going to say this. I have an advanced degree, okay? Having an advanced degree did not prepare me for the challenges that I would face when I graduated in 2009. It did not prepare me for the real world outside of the academic ivory tower bubble. It didn't prepare me for how to write a real world resume that has to do with non-academic types of jobs. It didn't prepare me to deal with the rejection that would come with me trying to apply for colleges to teach in professor roles, whether they're adjunct professor or tenured professor roles. It didn't prepare me for any of the rejection that I would face with that. It didn't prepare me for the hardship that I would face in trying to figure out how to pay back student loans and a whole myriad of other things. But I will say this, and I will say this to any kid out there: finish high school and maybe even consider two-year college or trade school. Okay? You've got you've got to finish your education. You've got to get your basic fundamentals down: reading, writing, and arithmetic. You want to get through this world learning how to communicate well. You've got to communicate in order to get ahead, in order to be understood. You don't want to just communicate just to be saying anything. A lot of people do that a lot, and they're often misunderstood, or they just have a really hard time being, just getting into job roles that they've always wanted. You want to say what you mean and mean what you say. How do you expect to, for example, get a job that requires good communication skills if you cannot read, if you cannot write a cover letter or resume, if you cannot write a decent note, for maybe job purposes. If you can't communicate verbally with people, you have to have basic fundamentals in place in order for you to have a slightly easier time in this world. I'm not saying that it's going to be impossible without education to navigate this world, but it's going to be far more difficult to survive in what's already a very tough world, even if you have a ton of education. It's going to be much tougher to survive if you don't have your basic fundamental education. So, with that said, stay in school, young people, finish, get out there, do your thing, do the things that you want to do, but please learn how to communicate. Get your reading skills, your writing skills, your verbal skills all set in place, and you will be okay. And that said, that is video number 8. Hope you enjoyed and have a good rest of the day.